Hey everybody, welcome to AniBreak, the show that breaks down the week's hottest topics in anime, manga, and video games. My name's Jason, and this week we are going to feature our part 2 of our summer 2013 anime season preview. Now, most of these series that we're going to be showing later on during the show have actually started. We just hadn't get to them in the first part, and there may be a couple surprises in there for you. There was actually a couple trailers for series that I saw in the news that were actually coming out, but seeing the actual trailer for it, I may actually give it a shot and actually watch a few of these, and you guys might do the same. But before we get to that, we want to talk about just a couple bits of news here and there. And I remember Anime Expo, there was a ton of Attack on Titan cosplayers. That was the thing. But there's always, a good deal of cosplayers of the Fate series, Fate Stay Night, Fate Zero, Fate Extra, any of those. I'm sure at the future cons you'll get that cosplayers for the latest version, which is that Fate Kyler Iliad Prisma. I can't remember what exactly it's called. The magical girl version of the Fate series. So, but that's not going to be the last we're going to hear of the Fate franchise. We know that studio, I always call them UFO Table or UFO Table. They've always done some great work, especially recently on Fate Zero. And they've been working on, say, intros of the Fate franchise in terms of games, like Fate Stay Night, Realta Nua. It looks kind of cool. It has some good ideas there. And it still retains that same high production value that we've all known, UFO Table to actually bring. I mean, they're pretty unequal with production IG in my mind. But I look at all this and I go, okay, well, what's next? Well, they've come out and stated that we are going to actually work on a new anime based on the visual novel Fate Stay Night. So is this saying that they're going to remake the series? Yes. Is it going to be more closely aligned with the visual novel than the previous version? Probably. Do we have any more information beyond this? No, because they're already working on a bunch of other stuff as is. So we know this is coming down the pipeline. It's very cool that we're going to get more Fate Stay Night. I mean, it's always good. I'm hoping that they take what they've created from Fate Zero in terms of the production value and added that to Fate Stay Night. I think it could turn out really well. Time will only tell, though. We may all be so moved on to something else that we're not going to really care about it, but who knows? At least we know it's coming down the pipeline. Another anime project that we know is coming down the pipeline, the third Monica movie, and they finally released a trailer for the third movie. This is English subtitled. We're just going to show it in the background, because we're all going to see this anyways. It's stuff we've already heard about before, and I just want to talk a little over it. With some good news that Aniplex of America has already made the announcement that they are going to team up again with 11 Arts to distribute this movie in U.S. theaters later on this year. Now, remember, they actually had a twofer, if you guys remember back in the when these first movies came out regarding U.S. distribution. It was enjoyable. It was a lot of fun. It was a very, very long day, just seeing those two movies back to back to back. There wasn't really a break in between. It was seriously movies over, credits, maybe a minute, and then it moved on. So you guys can check that out later on this year. I will let you guys know once information regarding which theaters will actually be showing this film when it is released. We've all been wanting to go to Japan one way or another. A few lucky ones have actually been to Japan, but I don't think any of us have ever thought about trying to go to Japan in this kind of tour. There's a group, it's a rental car company called the Fun to Drive Owners Club, and they decided, you know what, we want to create our own sort of otaku tour of Japan. And what better way to get around Japan than in a car. And if you're going to drive in a car, why not a car from a series that you guys really love and enjoy? And I'm talking about Initial D. This is the Initial D tour, where you can actually go to several locations that were actually used as inspiration or just directly copied from for the manga, for the movies, for the anime series, etc., etc. And on top of that, you would actually be able to drive one of the several cars from this, the franchise. I mean, you have everything from the AE86, the RX-7, the GTR, modified S2000. There's a lot of great cars that they've grabbed from their, from the franchise that they actually have access to. They have them all tweaked up. They have them all looking like they do from the anime series. And for a decent price, let's call it that, you would actually be able to go to these locations and drive these cars. If you were a fan of the series, that's a dream come true. Granted, they have to put it in, well, they say fine print, but it's in very large lettering. All participants must run within the legal speed limit, and no street racing is allowed. Now, is that going to stop people? Probably not, but it's good to know they're giving you all the opportunity here in the world. They just have to look the other way at the last minute. So I wish I could go to this. I really wish I could go to this. I mean, it's a 100-kilometer tour, driving some of these amazing cars we've read and watched and listened. Some of us have actually driven some of these or very similar to these cars in the past. I'd have fun with this. I would have a hell of a lot of fun with this. Now to get the money to go back to Japan. Right there with you. Well, on a side note, I was saving up to actually go to Otakon this year, but then had a massive car maintenance bill pop in of like almost $400. I was like, and my Otakon trip is now canceled. So, oh well. For those of you going to Otakon, I am incredibly envious, even more so than those of you who are going to Comic-Con this upcoming weekend. But let's talk about some convention news while we're on the subject. Starting with Japan Expo USA. They've been announcing some fantastic guests over, the past few weeks. I mean, you already have Noriyuki Iwadare, you have a Thousand Say, you have Denpa Gumi Inc., and now they added another group. This is actually a dance group. You probably have not heard of them before, but I think you guys are going to want to. They're called JDs. They were actually the winners of the Lotte Sony Music Grand Prix last year. They beat over 8,000 other groups to win this. They just recently performed at Japan Expo in Paris, France, and now they're coming to the United States to be a performer at Japan Expo USA. So you have all these people showing up. You have some great guests on top of these dancers, all coming to Japan Expo USA. You can find out more information, get your tickets. I'm going to be there. I hope you guys will be there as well. It's going to be August 23rd through the 25th at the Santa Clara Convention Center. More information at japan-expo.org. The other bit of news is from Otakon. They keep on adding. They've just been stacking great guest after great guest, and it hurts me that I can't make it anymore. They've already announced some great people beside, the founder of Madhouse. You have TM Revolution. You have Homemade Kazoku. You have Shinichiro Watanabe. He's done a ton of stuff, but also most famously known as the director of Cowboy Bebop. You have Yoko Kanno going to be there to debut a brand new concert. And to top it off, they decided to add some more people. Recently, they actually announced Masayuki Ozaki is going to appear at the event. He is actually a producer from Studio Sunrise, so he's worked on several of the Gundam series. He's also worked on Inuyasha The Final Act, even worked on the recent Gintama movie, among many other things. So he's going to be there taking question and answers, probably take a picture or two with him, maybe get an autograph, even just to shake his hand. I'll be envious as all hell. So you guys are going, you definitely want to check out this, including the slew of other guests they have going on for Otakon this year, which is taking place August 9th through the 11th. It's coming up really soon at the Baltimore Convention Center. More information at, I believe, otakon.com. All right. Well, that's going to be it for the news. I want to get right into the information for the our summer preview part 2. And just like last time, we actually will put all the trailers together in just one long run. So and we'll talk about them afterwards. Plus, after that, I will showcase a couple first impressions of what I've seen so far. Some have been surprising, some not so much. And one is just absolutely crazy, but I love it. So let's get to this. This is a little long. There's about 9 different trailers in here, featuring several different series that some of you may have heard of, some may not. But I think you'll enjoy it nonetheless. So enjoy. And there you go. That's the part 2 of our preview for the summer 2013 anime season. We ended that, and I made specifically sure to end on Gatchaman Crowds. It just only recently started streaming on Crunchyroll. And I have to say, when I first heard that they were going to start a new Gatchaman anime, I was like, are we going to need a continuation like we had before in the back in the days in the 70s and 80s? No, not so much. Nowhere near the least. Well, I'll give you an idea. I mean, the main character, the girl you saw there, her name is Hajime Ichinose, and basically, she is a very random girl. Like, in watching this episode, in episode 1, I it was so odd because I'm watching her and she's incredibly overly bubbly personality. She has some odd habits that she loves to how to explain this, has a fascination with her like day planner. Like she like dreams of like decorating for different occasions and whatnot, and she's all happy-go-lucky, and to the point where she started reminding me of like another character. I was like, who does this character remind me of? I just can't think of one. But anyways, so she gets met up with this well, at the time, alien she doesn't know called JJ, who awakens her powers, and therefore she's going to become a Gatchaman and teams up with the rest of the crew. And I look at this and I go, okay, there's a few things that could possibly happen at this point. Because if she's going to be like any other teenager, regardless of her personality, that just was just given all this amazing superpowers, and now she must fight to save the world. Normally in anime we would get someone that would break down, would be all emo, like, why me? Why was I given this power? Why am I so special? I can't do it. I can't do it. They may rage, or they may also rage, turn around and try to use it for their own purposes. If they want to go evil, I have all superpowers. I'm going to go rob a bank because no one can stop me. Stuff like that. No, this girl defies all of that and just goes, oh, cool, I have superpowers, awesome, and let's go tell everyone about this. I don't care if it's supposed to be secret. Oh, hey, cool, it's going to be amazing, and, like, just bounces off the wall constantly. But I do have to say, the art style is very Technicolor Dreamcoat-esque. The fight scenes so far have been very entertaining. A lot of CG work that's incorporated with the 2D hand-drawn animation. I could have sworn, like, in the art style, this was actually animated by Studio Shaft, but it's not. So, this one, I enjoy the initial thrill, the initial ride. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in future episodes, but I'm hoping that they take it someplace rather than just focusing on the crazy and the action and never doing any character development or the sacrifice plot for comedy. I'm hoping that they actually go forward with this. So who knows? We'll see what happens. There was at the beginning of it. We're gonna jump all through it real quick. You had dog and scissors. This one, when I saw the before I saw the trailer, I just saw this poster, and I went, "This can't be good." We have an odd girl with scissors. It's gonna be a recap of Mysterious Girl X. I don't see no drool on there, but that's who knows what's gonna happen. And then I was completely wrong. Started watching the first episode. And you get this boy who's fascinated with books, loves a specific author, and finds himself the wrong place at the wrong time during a robbery that goes bad, and ends up getting killed in the first episode. And I went, okay, didn't see that coming. And then all of a sudden he pops back up thinking, okay, well, that must have been a dream. And then he looks into the mirror. And for whatever reason, he's been implanted into a dog. He still has all his human emotions. He has all his memories, all his thought patterns as a human. He's just tossing a dog. A little dachshund. And the girl who owns the house that he ends up living in is actually the author that he's fawned over. And of course, given the fact that he's a dog, only he can actually speak to her and she understands exactly what he's saying. Kind of like they could mind read or something like that. Turns out that the girl is very, for lack of a better phrase, crazy. And it's just them going back and forth, her working on her latest novel, him trying to read all the books he can, even though he's turned into a dog. There's not much more to say to it. I look at it and I'm just like, okay, I'm looking to see where this goes. I do like the one you saw on there that was the eccentric family. This one, I gotta say, PA Works has really outdone themselves this time around. It's basically taking place in modern Kyoto, but not the Kyoto you think of. You have Tanuki and Tengu wandering about, living their lives, interacting with humans. And the series follows a young male Tanuki named, if I think I remember correctly, Yasaburo. And his primary goal in life is to live life to the fullest extent. Good thing to go for. But in order to complete this, he decides he needs to use his powers to transform himself into a cute high school girl. So he transforms. He looks like a high school girl, but still has all the mannerisms and movements and styles and thoughts of a regular male. He doesn't have it quite down just yet. I'm semi curious to see what's going to happen with this. I'm not expecting huge, gripping, epic storyline, but I'm expecting something that would probably reach your heart, make you go aw, which is fine. I like those type of series as well. The production style is breathtaking. It's one of those that I think PA Works, they could have easily turned this into almost a movie, but I'm glad they turned it into a series. So you guys want to check that one out. It's currently on Crunchyroll. It seems like there's a lot of, I don't want to say Monica ripoffs. I just want to state that they are disturbed magical girl series. I think that's the right way to call it. They're not just ripoffs. They're just disturbed magical girl series. I mean, you saw a Fantasia doll in there. The other one in there, Daybreak Illusion. I have to say, I watched the first episode of Daybreak Illusion, and they try to go so emo in the first episode. I could have sworn they had Linkin Park playing in the background, and I'm slitting my wrists. I mean, they do try the whole bit of, okay, let's take the protagonist, let's take a young girl, let's essentially torture her on screen so she has her tears mixing in with her drool going down her face while she's getting abused, and that's not what I want to see. This is something that I liked Monaco for what it was, but all of these knockoffs like Daybreak Illusion, I this whole angsty tween magical girl thing, I'm not for it. So you guys can check this one out. It's on Crunchyroll. I probably won't catch any more of it. A series that I was looking forward to and I'm still on the fence about is Servant X Service. For those of you who enjoyed Wagnaria, or Working as it was translated stateside, the same people who worked on those basically take the entire series, take the humor, take the timing, take the comedy, pick it up out of the restaurant and throw it in a public service building, a government job. And that's exactly what you get from Servant X Service. And I gotta tell you, from talking to those who've actually worked these government jobs, it's not a fun job. It's a very boring job. And even with the comedy strewn about here and there throughout the first episode, you still get that sense that it's a boring ass job. So you wonder that with Wagnaria, they were able to capture a lot of comedy with the characters themselves. I'm hoping that they'll be able to do the same with this series. I'm on the fence about it right now. I'll give it another couple episodes, but yeah, let's move on to something that we talked about during part 1. A couple of my first impressions. Oh, I know. Let's talk about this one. Watamote. This has to be, as of right now, my current favorite of all the new series. Just because it's so painfully true at times in terms to social anxiety, that I will admit that there are a couple things that has happened throughout the first 2 episodes so far that I've had to experience when I was younger. And then I have other friends who are going through some of this stuff right now. And it's almost so accurate. It's kind of creepy. What's funny is that there are people online who are looking at this and going, this is like the most moe out there. I'm like, how in the hell are you saying that? The main character, she wants to be as moe as possible, but yeah, she never really pulls it off. Although she thinks she did in episode 2, but I won't spoil why or how. You guys want to check that one out. The comedy is, if for those of you who ever had social anxiety in the past, trying to talk with people, trying to make new friends and whatnot, in a new situation, new environment, this is a series you're going to want to watch. You'll probably relate to a few things and probably have some laughs along the way. A series, let's move on to Stella Girls Academy. This, I've talked about it time and time again on this show regarding the style and the music that was used during the trailers to get elicit a feel of like Cowboy Bebop. It had that nice jazz music going on in the background. They were trying showcasing, yeah, we're girls with guns and going everywhere. Oh wait, no, we're gonna try to throw a spin on this. Not so much. To break it down, this series is K-On! With airsoft guns. I cannot make it any baser than that. It is K-On! With airsoft guns. You have all these preteens and teenagers getting together for an after-school club that they love. The airsoft guns. They love to go out and run survival exercises, which, okay, cool. I've been in a few of those myself playing airsoft, and those are fun. But I would never expect like a preteen or a young high school girl to want to jump in that, especially doing it in their uniform. It was kind of odd to see that. They try to make it so moe that, you know, they'll have shots of the girls in typical poses, you know, cleaning their guns, and then they try to make them look, you know, badass by the end of episode 1, which is not a spoiler. One of the characters is shown at a shooting range, firing an actual Desert Eagle. I would probably guess 10 yards. Everything's in the 10 ring, And I'm looking at this going, this is odd. I mean, it's nowhere near as odd as, say, Girls in Panzer, but this one I can at least watch. The sequence, the survival game sequences are fun to watch. If you're looking for realism, they try, but just the sole fact of everything's color coordinated with these girls, and they're still doing all of this in their school uniforms, kind of throws you out of it. But oh well, I'm hoping they try to fix it up a little bit, try to change it up here and there. What else should we talk about? Yeah, we should talk about this one. We should talk about Free. I remember all the fanboys were going absolutely crazy when this was announced from Kyoto Animation or KyoAni. Because KyoAni has been known for, like we talked about, K-On! And a number of other, for lack of a better phrase, Moe Blob series. And that's what the fanboys wanted. And then KyoAni turned around and said, you know what, we're going to make an anime about male swimmers in high school. And I gave it a shot. The production values are pure KyoAni. It's high quality there. It's kind of funny that before the first episode was even aired on TV, there were already fans going out there saying, well, what if we just swap the genders? We can easily make this to a series we really want to see, right? Right? No. I'm actually kind of, interested in this series because I'm not distracted by Moe Blob Girls. I'm actually enjoying the storyline. I mean, some of the characters are cookie cutter style. I mean, you can definitely see what type of character arc they were going for each character. But still, I'm actually enjoying it so far. I've only seen the first couple episodes. I will probably continue to be watching this for the foreseeable future. And for those of you who were, hesitant, like, oh, it's all male, I don't feel like I want to watch this, actually give it a shot. Give it 1 or 2 episodes and then send me a tweet and let me know what you think of it. Oh, let's see. Okay, I guess we can talk about this one. Speaking of the whole Magical Girl ripoff thing, the Magical Girl variation of the Fate Stay series, or just the Fate franchise, I should state, the production looks decent. The characters, some of the characters you already know, other characters have been slightly tweaked in order to better fit the universe for this story to be told. Action is what you expect. It's a combination of what you've seen in Fate Zero and Madoka. Am I going to continue watching this one? I don't know. I really don't know. Because, I mean, I love the Fate franchise. I love it to death. It's amazing. And then I watched this series, and to have the character turn around, yes, I understand you want to put the characters in an alternate universe, have a retelling of sorts. We're going to throw a magical girl slant on it. Okay, I'm fine with that. But it doesn't, all the parts do not add up for me. Like, some segments are cool. Some of the characters are really cool. Put it all together and it kind of falls a little flat for me. I'm hoping it turns around in the next few episodes. You know my deal. I will give any series at least 4 or 5 episodes before I toss it. But starting with episode 1, I'm already on the fence with this one. So it's like, you have a lot to prove before I'm going to continue watching this. So, but these are just my opinions. If you guys think I'm completely wrong, please feel free to let me know on Facebook and Twitter. OtakuLife Jason, all one word. I love to hear the good and the bad, so please let me know what your thoughts are. But that's only just a few of the first impressions that I've been watching so far. There are, I would say, close to 20 different series for this summer, not to mention the OVAs and the movies that are coming out. It's going to be a busy summer, regardless of what you're interested in. So I will actually be continuing on with reviews and first impressions through future episodes of AniBreak. May even toss a few in with From My Mother's Basement in the future, depending on what happens. And if you guys have suggestions on a series or a specific episode you want me to review, please send me or a tweet or let me know on Facebook, OtakuLife Jason, all one word. and we'll have some fun with it. We'll turn it into our own little mini series if you guys want. Excuse me. All right. Well, to wrap up a couple things, let's talk about some Kickstarters. You guys know I've done this massive Kickstarter kick for a while, and it's not just because I wanted to check out something new. It's that there's some really good stuff going on right now. We've all heard about the Little Witch Academia Part 2 Kickstarter out there. They initially asked for only $150,000. Their pledge goals actually are very reasonable. If you want to get a regular edition Blu-ray when it comes out, and he has some decent amount of bonus features to go on with the standard edition, it's $50. If you're gonna be like me and go for the limited edition of the Blu-ray with some additional bonus features, it's $100. And they have a ton more, higher and lower, so you guys can check that online. Look on Kickstarter and check out Little Witch Academia 2. They have 21 days to go, and they're currently at, wow, $415,054. That is absolutely incredible. And they just recently announced an additional stretch goal, which I think they're going to hit. If they hit $500,000, the standard edition of the Blu-ray will receive an audio commentary and a making of documentary, which is very nice in itself. The limited edition will also receive an original soundtrack and a line art collection book. Awesome. I'm looking forward to this. You guys have 21 days left to back this. I highly recommend doing so. But the other one that only has mere hours before it ends is the Mega Tokyo visual novel game Kickstarter. Fred's been working on this for a while now, and he's been hyping this up left, right, and center. Been doing several interviews on a ton of different websites, and honestly, it's all paying off because I'm looking forward to this game. I'm hoping you guys are doing the same. This is going to be an adaptation of the webcomic so far, volumes 1 through 6. The funny thing is that he keeps on adding more and more stretch goals, and they keep on getting funded left, right, and center. All except one. The kind of the tongue-in-cheek joke of $500,000 for the, as he calls, excessively romantic content. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. He has 19 hours to go. He initially asked for $20,000. He's currently at $277,048. I think he's going to make it. But I think you guys really want to jump in on this. This one is a little bit cheaper than the Little Witch Academia Kickstarter. If you want a copy of just part 1 of the game, it's $10. If you want a copy of part 1, 2, and 3, $35 or more. So you guys want to check this one out. This has less than a day to go. You guys really want to jump in on this. It's going to be an absolute blast. If you ever read Mega Tokyo throughout the past 10 years, you're going to want to back this. So you want to go online, Kickstarter.com, and search for Mega Tokyo. But I think that's going to be it for this episode of AniBreak. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. Hope I showcase some series that you may or may not have heard. Hoping that you guys will go out there and watch more anime. I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning or noon. If you have an extra half hour, go watch some anime. Funimation, Viz, Anime Network, Crunchyroll, even Daisuki.com, I think it is. They all have some great anime out there. You guys should check it out. And if you guys have any ideas for a review, or you want to do a review yourself, let me know. Shoot me a tweet or a post on Facebook. You guys know it. It's OtakuLife Jason, all one word. Maybe I'll bring you on to do a joint review here and there. So yeah, stay tuned for post show. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and yeah, you guys have yourself a great week. Take it easy.